What's going on YouTube? Matt from GarageMC here. In today's video, one of you guys asked for it, so I'm making a video on it and we're going to throw something else in at the end. Nerf bars. The netting. How do you lace them? There's a few different ways. In this video, I'm going to show you guys the method that I like. It kind of locks it. The more weight you put on the net, the more it holds it tight. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here in a second. This is the end result of what you get. I like to try and keep my nets as symmetrical as I can. Sometimes you just can't because of the way that the brackets are and the angles and stuff, but let's get into it. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the exhaust too with some titanium exhaust wrap right here. So pull up a seat, stick around. Mike, you wanted this video, so here it is, bud. Alright guys, I am back to filming by myself today, so I'm going to try and keep this in the shot as best as I can for you. Alright, so you'll notice on this particular set of Nerf bars, we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, corresponding with the net that came with it. But if you look closely, you'll notice that the end of this side is shorter than this side. So you always want to pay attention to it. So it's going to sit like this. These are going to be more towards closer to these brackets because to get it symmetrical, I like to start at a corner and then across and then keep it in line where the other bracket is. You can start at the ends and go to the middle, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does to me. It's more aesthetically pleasing to me if it looks like it's, you know, symmetrical and not crooked and stuff like that. I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. Yes, it's just a quad, but we spend a lot of money on these things and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and a lot of hard work go into this, and I want it to look as best as it possibly can. It's almost a damn shame to go rip it through the mud after, but hey, you could just build another one or keep your machine clean, which is something I definitely recommend. But all right, so the bracket on these. There, let me come around so I can show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. The bracket on here, it has 3 holes on it. So what I like to do is, this is the top of it, like where your foot goes. I come in through the top, directly out the bottom notch here, and then I go over this tab. I'm trying to get you guys a good angle here. Over this tab, back in, and then under the net where we started to go in. The reason I like that method is because it's pinched in there with it, and the more weight you put on it, the more weight you put, like if you put your foot on the netting, it's pulling down on the net that you're stepping on, obviously, and it's pinching the net under it, so it gives it no option but to stay put. If anything, it gets tighter the more you step on it. So, all right, let's start getting this laced up, and then I'll show you guys how I do it. I do it with no tools. Some people use picks or flatheads or really thin needle nose pliers, but if you're just patient and use your head a little bit, you really don't even need any tools to do this. Let's start lacing this thing up here. We got the direction we know we want to go with it. So you could either go here because you want this to be in line. So obviously this is going to be real short here. That's why I said before, double check your lengths on the sides of them. Like this one here, if you fold it over, it only goes to just past it. This one here goes damn near the whole way. That's because this is the furthest 2 apart from each other. So these on the ends of these are like, this is nylon. So if you want to cut the excess that's left over, which I usually don't, I leave a little bit so I can pull it tight if I want. You don't want to leave yourself no room to play with if you know you need to adjust it later on. But if you do want to cut the excess off, you could just take a lighter and just melt the end a little bit, then it won't fray, if that's, you know, what you want to do. That's all your choice, whatever you want to do with that. So I hope this is in the shot. Put it in on an angle and get it fed, and it pops out on its own if you get it lined up properly. Wiggle it, comes through. So being this is the corner we're starting on, I go all the way first. I want to pull it a little bit like in, because I'll use the netting itself to pull the rest of this back through the same hole that we went in to start with. So then you loop around, go in, And if you guys can see what I'm doing here, you see how the net, like if you push it in straight, it just touches the nylon. If you go in on an angle and point it up to the hole where it's going to have to go, and then feed a little extra through, you could pull on this, and it will damn near pull itself through if you get it right. Just like that there. Now don't tighten this down yet, because we're going to be moving it around and getting it where it's got to go. So just leave yourself about a finger's amount sticking out. And then we'll go straight across on this one so we get where we want to be. I mean, you could really do whatever way you want so it's symmetrical. Like you could even go to the center and keep that straight. It's the same difference either way. So I'm going to do the same procedure here. Go straight across. Start getting that through the hole. Start getting this through the hole here. I hope I'm in the shot for you guys here. So like I said, pull it tight because you're going to be using its own strap to pull itself through. Same thing we just did before. Get it in there on the right angle, and then feed the excess towards the bottom. And then pull it through. It's a little bit of a bitch, it's tedious, but you can get it. Just like that. Get your excess back in there. Sweating my ass off, guys. It is hot as balls out here. Holy shit. It's not hot, it's the humidity. It's just murder. Alright, so now we're across like that. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the center one and get ourselves set up. Same procedure as before. Coming in from the top. And after I get this one lined up, I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. And then I will show you guys how to get them all lined up properly. Same thing, I'm going to go past where I need to go. Obviously, you can see it's pulling it taut now from where it's supposed to be. So that's going to give us enough excess to pull it which direction we're going to need to go. So I'm going to get the rest of these lined up off camera, like I said, and then I will show you guys how I go about centering them. So here we have all of them set up. Like I said before, I left a loop of extra netting all the way around. I'm pretty happy with where it is now. Obviously this particular style, maybe if XFR, if you guys are watching these brackets where you put the netting, it'd be cool if this one was like an inch over and this one like an inch and a half over. It would let these nets be more symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to at least make them straight to each other. It's pretty much the best you could do here with this. So we're going to take a little extra from here. We're going to take a little extra from here. That looks pretty good there. Maybe a little bit more, actually. You guys need to loosen it up. Go in reverse here. Pull some extra from the tab that's left over that you pulled through, like the tightening part that you would grip onto. Pull some of that out. Feed and pull. Let me get you a better shot. Feed and pull at the same time. It helps if you go kind of wiggle it a little bit. So we're going to get ourselves a little extra pulled out. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that there. So we will tighten up from this side. And I think the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory, guys. If you want to tighten, you just pull and wiggle back and forth and feed at the same time. That just goes to show you how tight this method actually is. Like when you step on this, it ain't going anywhere. The top of this is pushing down on the other strap that's right underneath of it. It's not gonna back out on you. You know, pretty much, it's not going to. Could other things happen? Obviously, anything could happen. A plane could land on my garage right now while I'm filming this video. You know, anything could happen, obviously. Now, how tight and how taut you want your netting is up to you. I like to leave a little bit of slack in them, because if you go too tight, you run the risk of not being able to get your foot under the shifter, depending on what spline you have your shifter set on, obviously. But that's all preference. So let me finish this up, guys, and then I will show you how I'm going to wrap my exhaust with the titanium wrap. Here's both of them done. Now let's get into wrapping this exhaust with this titanium heat wrap for the exhaust. This is a DEI product. This, like traditional exhaust wrap, you have to soak in water first and then wrap the exhaust while it's wet. And when it dries, it gets even tighter. This stuff you don't have to soak. You don't have to get this wet. It's not needed here. Can you still do it that way? I mean, if you want. I don't think it's going to be any benefit, though, because it is a product that goes on dry. I know I said I was going to do just the Nerf bars and the exhaust in this video, but stick around, guys, because we're going to bring the 426 back to Darren's house. I got it sitting right outside here. Just if you guys are wondering, this is all the stuff I have to move out of my garage every time I start doing something in here. There's a whole box for the budget build 400EX, all full of parts, almost ready to go, waiting on parts from my favorite place to shop, BPR ATV. And then we'll get to that build, obviously. Make sure you give a thumbs up if you're ready to see that, because I know I am. But we're going to go take that over there, and I went and got a bracket today so I can at least strap the camera to the handlebars so you guys can take a ride over there with me, and then I'll have him hold the camera. We'll whip it around his yard a little bit, and, you know, and I'll piece you guys out. So stay till the end of the video if you want to see that. Let's get into wrapping this exhaust real quick. So with this Empire Industries exhaust, which, I mean, you know, this thing is friggin' cool. I wish I had a coffee mug that looked like this. Empire, if you do that, you owe me money, because that's my idea now. Anyway, this is a 3-part exhaust, guys. You have, obviously, your silencer, or, I'm sorry, your extremely badass machined billet aluminum exhaust. The mid pipe gets bolted to this, and there's no clamp or gasket that goes on this, guys. This thing is so precision fit. I mean, it's just beautiful. This is all stainless steel, all TIG welded. And yes, it is a shame to wrap this up and cover it. But, you know, if you guys always want to go on the side of caution, make sure you wrap your pipe. You know what I'm saying? Keep it safe. Obviously, this is to keep the heat down. When this is bolted on the 400EX, I mean, you got your oil tank here. You got the heat shield right above it. You got all the heat from the head of the engine. Everything's right here. I want to keep the heat down as much as I can in that area. On the 426, I only wrapped just the beginning of this, and then when it got to the side, I left it open. Something I would like to do, I want to start messing with carbon fiber. I have all the materials here. Even after I wrap this, I'd like to make a molded look like a carbon fiber heat shield. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm pretty confident in my skills, and I think I can handle it. Anyway, when I wrap something with heat wrap, I start at the back of the pipe. If it's going to be one piece, like in this case, I'm going to start on the front ones, because this back one is going to come overlap those two right here. But my theory behind starting at the back and wrapping it this way is, the quad's obviously moving this way. It probably wouldn't make a difference, but this is just the way my brain works. The air will be not catching any of it. It'll be, you know, overlapped like this. I mean, it's just stupid little stuff like that that is in my head to do, which I think will also make a better product. So let me start wrapping this up, and obviously I would like to have this bolted on the quad so I could wrap this all in one piece, but I mean, the way that this fits over there, I'm just going to wrap this piece by itself, or maybe not even this piece at all. I'm not sure yet, but I'll leave a little excess this way I can pull it over the slip if I decide to wrap this piece too. So let me get my wrap out and I'll show you guys how I go about measuring how much I'm going to need, and then we'll start wrapping. As I'm all sweaty and covered in dust, just took the 426 back over to Darren's house. You will see that at the end of this video. I'm going to put it in the video, so be sure to stay tuned for that. As I said, guys, I'm trying to grow the channel, so if you could throw me thumbs up and definitely throw me a comment. Doesn't matter what it is, just, you know, cool, thanks, go F yourself, whatever you want to say. Don't matter to me. You're entitled to your opinion, like I said. All right, so to start doing this, I get a good amount of this out. The stuff's, you know, it's not expensive, but it's not cheap either, so you don't want to just cut a whole bunch and then have a bunch of extra shit left over to, you know, cut off and then throw out because it's not enough to use. So I want to figure out how much I'm going to need for one loop. So it's this much. So then after that, you want to figure out how many overlaps you're going to do. So I just fold when I know how much I'm going to need. All right, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then one extra for good luck. So the reason I was doing it 1.5, like a half overlap, that's just so you have to overlap it. So we need 15 times this length here. So 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, and I'll take an extra half, or I'll just take an extra whole just in case. All right, so here's where we're at. So I need scissors, which I should have already had out. Good thing I know where they're at. We're gonna go ahead and cut. This stuff will start falling apart on you, so you gotta kind of handle it delicately. All right, so now let's get into how I start wrapping this up. Now that we have our length figured out, these brackets on the exhaust for the 400, you want to make sure you're all the way up against the flange there. Now, when you start wrapping your pipe, you want to fold the end of this. You could, this is where this stuff becomes a pain in the dick to work with. You want to get all this extra bullshit off of here. It will keep unrolling on you. That's what sucks about this stuff. But, I mean, I think this stuff looks sick when it's on the quad, especially when it's installed nice and neat, sturdy, and tight, whatever other word you want to use. So, where are we at here? I'm going to start from the front of the pipe on this one. Now your ends, you want to fold them over just a little bit, something like that there. Get your flange bumped up to the end of the pipe, and I like to put the fold somewhere where you won't see like a bump in it. So you want to keep this pulled tight. Get started. This is where this becomes tedious, guys, because you got to keep pulling it through and pulling it through and pulling it through. But like I said, the benefits outweigh the bullshit that you have to go through to get this thing started on here. So you want to just keep pulling it, pull it tight, stretch it. You always want to hold the end. After I get started a little bit, I'll actually use one of those stainless steel ties for this. This stuff definitely works too, guys. If you think it's not worth doing, trust me on it, it is. So I'm just going to continue doing this procedure all the way down the pipe, and I will check back with you guys when I get towards the end of the pipe. I'm not going to make you sit here for 10 minutes that it's going to take for me to wrap this here. You guys see what I'm saying? None of you guys are stupid. You guys can do this too. It is not hard. It's just, this is all the time consuming stuff. Hence the reason I started this little series entitled All the Little Things, because this is all the stuff that most people don't show you when they're doing a build like this. You just see parts that are already prepped and ready to go going on the quad. Which brings me to my next question I have for you guys. If you don't mind, please take a minute and put it in the comments section. Let me know what you guys would rather see. Would you rather see in detailed videos like this? Or would you guys rather see just, here's all the stuff, time lapse, slap it all together, here's the quad. Well, here's the pipe after I wrap that first section there, guys. These stainless steel zip ties that come with these, well, I mean, you can get these just by themselves. It's simple. You just wrap it around the pipe, and then it goes through itself. And it's kind of like, it won't back out now. So I pretty much just wasted that one. But that's okay. I can fit it around the end still. That's how it goes though. And then after you get it on there, I figure out a length I want. And then you're not going to cut it with dikes unless you have a really sharp pair. But I just score it and then fold it back and forth, and the excess will break off like this piece here. And then I fold it over on itself so you don't have a sharp section. I also like to keep where the buckle is, where you're not going to see it. So this is what you'll see. Even though this section is going to be covered to go to the rear, which I'll show you guys that as soon as I'm done putting it together. I'm going to do the rest off camera. But the stuff's pretty easy, guys. This is folded over to itself right here, so it's nice and tight, but I'm still going to put a tie here. Some people put them like every 6 inches. I find you really don't need to, unless you're like really messing with it or if it's rubbing or something, but I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can put 100 of them if you want, but that's pretty much it to that, guys. So I'm going to finish this up off camera and I'll show it to you guys, and then we're going to cut to riding the quad over to Darren's house, which I strapped the camera to the front of it, but it was a little shaky. I'm going to show it to you guys anyway. It's only like 2 minutes long. And then, you know, we got a little bit of a riding session over at his house real quick. His neighbors were barbecuing and we were making a lot of dust. So it was just a quick thing, but there will be comparison videos of the 426 against the 416 and the 465. If you guys are wondering what happened to the 440, that was a customer's quad. That is now gone. So obviously we might have to build one of those to have too. But, you know, in a later date, I'm thinking for a next project, maybe 2 or 3 wheels. You guys let me know what you want to see. I have both here already. Not going to tell you what they are yet, though. Let me finish this up. I'll get right back to you guys. Here it is, guys. All wrapped up with the DEI titanium heat wrap. It's the same stuff that was on the 426. It's all nice and tight, nice and even, all the overlaps and everything. It looks actually really good. I don't even know if the camera's doing it justice, but you know, I think it looks sick, guys. I love this look on stuff, and it actually serves a purpose too. Keeps the heat down. So as far as the mid-pipe part, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. I want to wait, obviously, till I have it on there, because the mid-pipe slips over this one. You know, naturally, exhaust flow is going this way. It wouldn't make sense if it went into the pipe. But anyway, let's go rip the 426. All right, guys, let's run this 426 back to Darren. I got you guys set up on the handlebars here. Hopefully my phone does not go anywhere. All right. This should work all right. Let me see what kind of view you guys got here. Hopefully this thing holds up. Quad's ice cold. Should start no problem whatsoever. That's what happens when you tune it right. Get your jets right. Obviously it might be different in the cold, but let's go do this. Oh yeah. What's going on, YouTube? Matt from GarageMC here. Alright guys, hold on. Alright guys, we got the quad back over to Darren. Darren, what you think of them shocks, bruh?
I love them shocks, man.
Take it for a little rip. Take it for a rip around the yard real quick.
I am.
See what kind of skills. Oh, alright, never mind. That says it all. You gotta have it. There you go. Damn, that thing is fucking loud, man. Holy shit. Obviously, this quad will never get out of second gear. Let's get a little shot here. Alright, let me jump on this thing real quick.
Where he went, but he gone.
Yo, you gotta wet the yard down a little bit, dude. God damn. Let me see that damn camera. I don't know, guys. Them eBay shocks for the price, they're fucking nice, man. That thing rides plush. Just sucks that you gotta modify them to put them on. So when you see things that say they're for a 400EX, guess what? Sometimes they just are not. Will they work? Yeah, but you know, you could also put a jet engine on a quad if you wanted to, if you modify it. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Stay tuned for the comparisons when the 465 and the 416 are done with the 426. All that happy horse shit. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for joining me, Garage. Peace! Darren, you gonna say peace?
Peace.
Dork.